Hey gang, throughout different moments in my career, I often lack the clarity from my managers regarding my role and responsibilities, my priorities and goals, or how my manager defines success and overachievement for me. And this lack of clarity made it very difficult for me to know where to focus my energy. And sometimes I end up doing the wrong stuff, doing too much of it, or not doing what my manager was expecting. Even worse was the fact that I didn't know what I need to do to be considered successful or an overachiever, which ultimately had a significant impact on my yearly performance review to get a raise or a promotion. I am Denis. Let's explore what the manager expectations blueprint is, why it is fundamental for your day-to-day work, and how ultimately for your end-of-year performance review, and how you can calibrate your manager's expectations to propel you to become a high-impact individual contributor. The Manager Expectations Blueprint is a concise document that outlines the key expectation your manager has for you. It typically includes your role and responsibilities, the operational excellence tasks and duties that your manager values as the basis for you to master in your job. Things like be on time for your work report, expense report, on budget for your expense, or be on time on meetings. Your priorities and goals clearly defined. And finally, success and overachievement criterions on how your manager defines success and what it takes to exceed expectations. It is absolutely fundamental for your day-to-day activities and to achieve the optimal results in your yearly performance review that you obtain clarity and a mutual agreement on these points. Doing so will provide you guidance on where to focus your energy and a clear understanding of what your manager is expecting from you. Now let's take a few minutes to highlight the benefit of each of the blueprint elements. First one is to understand your manager perspective on your role and responsibility. It will allow you to streamline your work, scope your work, and avoid working on unnecessary tasks or requests that didn't align with your role and responsibility. Second one is understanding your manager perspective on your SKEC. That will ensure that you possess the necessary skill, knowledge, experience, and characters to perform your job effectively, and it will help you to identify areas where you need to develop or enhance your skill, knowledge, and experience. Third one is understanding your manager perspective on your priority and goals, which will help you to get more clarity on what you should focus on and work toward for the ultimate impact on your pay and end-of-year reviews. The fourth one is understanding your manager perspective on a clear definition of your success and overachievement. That will provide you clear criterions for your success and overachievement, making your performance evaluation more fairer and more objective. And that should result in an increased likelihood of your achievement being recognized and hence your chance of receiving raise, promotion, bonuses, or any other rewards in your organizations. Okay, now it's homework time. How you should proceed to get your manager expectations blueprint in place. But before we start, I need to tell you two things. A, it's never too late to have that discussions. For sure, it is the best at the beginning of the year, but you can have it at any time. You just need to have it. And B, whether you are a new employee or a senior employee within your organizations, it doesn't matter. You need to have this discussion. Okay, now how you proceed. First step, you need to schedule a 60-minute one-on-one meeting with your managers. Your agenda should be the following. Object, discussion on your expectations for my role and responsibility. Agenda, first, R&R definitions. Second, skill, knowledge, and experience needed for my role and responsibility. Third, your definition of operational excellence for me. Fourth, your definition of my priority and goals. And finally, how you define success and overachievement for me at the end of the year. Just to let you know, you may encounter some pushback from your manager on this. It is completely understandable. Many managers or organizations have not taken the time to define all these expectations for their team members, or they only have priority and goals in mind and never thought about the rest. Regardless of the reasons, it is crucial that you get answers on all of these. Second step, the pre-meeting preparation. Go get the manager expectation blueprint form on the training page. Now what you have to do is populate the section 1 to 5 with your own point of view for each of the sections. But one thing that is super important is to only use few bullet points. Don't come up with a very complete descriptions. You only need few bullets to start the discussions and leave room for feedback. If you come up with everything completely filled up, there will be no room for feedback or any discussion at all. What you want is your manager point of view, not yours. Your draft is just to start the discussion. Okay, now let me give you a few indications for each of these sections. For section 1, your role and responsibility. You can create your own description of the R&R based on your own experience, or ask HR or refer to the R&R definition provided when you were hired. For section 2, the skills needed for the job. Write down all the skill, knowledge, experience you believe is needed for the role. Make sure also that you highlight some of your own skills that you discover when we did the personal compass building block. Also make sure you list the skills you don't have for the role, because that will be a good basis for future discussion on your development plan and start to get the seed in the head of your manager on things that you need to learn or improve. That will help you to get the time and the budget for your development, while you can highlight in your end of year performance review what you did to improve yourself. Section 3, the operational duties and tasks. Consider all the operational stuff that you perform that could be a source of frustration for your manager if not done properly or on time. Example include timely submission of work reports, expense reports, staying within your budget, or punctuality for any meetings you may have. I'm telling you, as a manager, there's nothing more frustrating than having a high-performance employee, but to always have to run after him or her because mismanagement in the operational excellence. This is the basis you need to be sure you are doing well and as expected. For section 4 and 5, the top priorities and key goals, leverage the priorities and goals that you define in the personal compass building block and what your team or group have defined. List your top 3 priorities and key goals you believe you have or you should have. For section 6, how your manager define your success or overachievement. At the end of the year, you need to leave this section blank for now. The third step is meeting with your manager. During your meeting, you bring 2 copies of your draft document. You need to discuss each of these 6 elements with your manager. The goal is to capture your manager point of view for each item, achieve clarity, alignment, and finally an agreement on each of the points. When this is done, you can move to the step 4. Step 4 is documenting and confirming. Write down everything that was agreed upon with your manager for the item 1 to 6 in a Word doc or a PowerPoint presentation. Send this document via email or any other communication tools you may use in your organizations, but you have to make sure you ask your manager to confirm this is what was discussed and agreed upon. Voila, you now have your manager expectations blueprint, a very comprehensive and pivotal document that will guide you in your day-to-day activities. It serves as the foundation for understanding and aligning with your manager expectations, providing clear guidance on where to focus your effort and how to prioritize your times. This blueprint outlines key objectives, role and responsibilities, success criteria, and operational standards, ensuring that every action you take is purposeful and aligned with your goals and what your manager expects from you. Additionally, it reduces any ambiguity and guesswork about what is expected from you to be successful or to be considered as an overachiever at the end of the year. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next sessions.